Dead by Daylight is most certainly a game. To be honest, I have no idea how to write an intro for this video, so long story short, let's talk about Dead by Daylight. And of course, to help me is the far funnier, more talented, and all-around truly amazing person, Fluffles from Digibox. Subscribe today and get a free set of steak knives. Without her, this video would not be possible. I am a mere weakling to her amazing power and intellect when it comes to Dead by Daylight. Her information and drive is surely carrying this video. Stop fucking writing that, Fluffles! Is what I wanted to say if I hadn't given Fluffles editing permission for this script. God damn it, why does Google Docs have so much power over me?
Alright, I think you should probably stop with this insane rambling that you wrote all on your own, without my intervention whatsoever.
Right. So, there are two ways to play Dead by Daylight. Survivor, or the opposite of that. As a survivor, you're tasked with the utmost exciting task of repairing generators.
But I'm not done yet!
You also have to hold down a lever next to an exit gate, and that's all. That's how you win the video game.
Come on, that's hardly fair. I mean, yes, of course, on the surface, survivor gameplay can seem extremely lackluster and repetitive, but there's way more to the game than that.
Yeah, I know. Just let me do my sarcastic bit, okay? But in all seriousness, there is a bit more to playing Survivor than just repairing generators. Depending on the killer you're up against, different mechanics will be thrown into the game to spice things up a bit.
Yeah, you've got everything from bear traps to reverse bear traps.
Wow, it's everything you could have ever wanted and more!
One on your foot, one on your head. Put them together and you're ready for bed. Night-night bed, sleepy times! Oh, I'm playing Freddy now.
The point is, these mechanics will change up how you need to play the game. Abilities such as reverse bear traps will halt your progress if you don't want to die, and Ghostface stalking will make sure that you're extra vigilant at all times.
Yep, this is going in my cringe compilation.
But Scoopa Doopa Shishka Bushka, what about killer if they finds me? Am I a dead? Does man have to pick up body from street? Is Hook friend now? Am me screwed? Why me can't speak full sentence? Does education system call grammar bad?
Oof, I think she had too many pallets pulled on her head. Well, once the killer finds you, you don't have much of a choice besides running. However, the killer is usually slightly faster than you, meaning that they'll eventually catch up to you. But do not fear, my children. The game will give you a variety of tools to make your grand escape from the murderer.
Such as windows. You see, these babies were invented in 1904 to combat the lot of light. But in Dead by Daylight, they can be rotated by both survivor and killer. Now you're probably wondering, why on earth would I want to jump through a window my enemy can also jump through? Well, that's simple, little Timmy. This virus can also move faster when jumping through a window, giving them quite the, window of opportunity. Oh god fucking damn it, it's already a park.
I swear to God, I'm gonna put you back in your box and cover the air holes if I need to. Another common object in each map are the pallets. These can be pulled down and vaulted over by survivors, however killers can't go over them. The killers will instead need to break the pallet, sitting through an animation, giving you plenty of time to run.
Where you throw the pallet on the killer's head and he or she just looks into your eyes and then stares down at the piece of wood blocking your friendship and love, as if to silently say, why? I thought we were friends, we were going to go to Ibiza and have a loving relationship, and now the only thing you know how to do is teabag the shit out of them. Also, you're shit at the game, because only non-elite gamers get pallet stunned.
Finally, you have closets. They don't do anything to the killer, but you sure as hell can hide like a little bitch.
But Scootakip, I think you're forgetting about my Lord and Savior. The flashlights. The flashlights.
Oh yeah, I try to forget that those exist. There are also items for survivors, all of which can be found either in item chests around the map, or more conveniently, the blood web.
Oh, is that newest edgy Spider-Man reboot? A sequel to Spider-Man, where Spider-Man kills Mary Jane with his radioactive sperm. This isn't a joke. It's Google Spider-Man, R-E-I-G-N. He kills Mary Jane with radioactive cum.
Blood webs are where you'll be spending your blood points, the currency that you get for doing just about everything in this game. Blood webs are filled with perks, items, and offerings, which are kinda like mutators, but not really. Each time you clear a blood web, you level up your survivor, generating a new blood web with new items.
Okay, the blood web is great and all, but I really think we should get back on topic. You know, about survivor items.
Alright, but yeah, there are a few different items for survivors to use. The first and probably most common item you'll find are toolboxes, which can be used to speed up the process of repairing generators. In addition, you can also use toolboxes to sabotage hooks, basically disabling them for a short amount of time. If you want to piss off the killer, this is how you do it.
Alternatively, you could convert to the cult of Dwight and their holy flashlights. The magical Dead by Daylight flashlight has the power to completely and totally blind the killer.
For only a couple seconds.
By simply shining it in their face for a distance for a quick moment.
Yeah, but it's seriously toxic as hell, really requiring no real skill at all, especially especially if you manage to catch them in the middle of breaking a pallet where they're stuck in an animation that can't be cancelled.
Hey, how dare you say such things? I'll have you know that I trained in the toughest conditions, played for many hours to acquire a perfectly balanced and fair purple flashlight, complete with red and green add-ons. This is the height of game balance, and I will not let anyone tell you otherwise. That's right, Mom! It's balanced, okay? Fucking balanced!
Yeah, okay. Anyways, other items are medkits that allow you to heal others quickly as well as healing yourself, maps which can track objects throughout the game, and keys which are only sometimes useful. Common keys can't really do anything besides, like, tracking players that are already close to you, which is... ooh, exciting. Rare keys, however, can open a locked hatch. And hey, there are also plenty of survivors to play as. Like, if you don't like playing as this man, you can play as this man. Yeah, there's nothing special about these characters. They all play the exact same. The only real difference is how your character looks and what skins you can use.
Well, may I introduce you to my friend Perks? Each survivor gets 3 of their own perks. All of them are equipable that give you different buffs or occasionally debuffs in the game.
Yeah, that's cool and all, but may I introduce you to my friend Teachable Perks? Yeah, you could get survivor perks to show up in blood webs for other survivors by getting that first survivor to level 30, 35, and 40. So once you get a certain survivor up to level 40, there ain't nothing special about them anymore. You could have all your survivors play like that one survivor without having to play as that one survivor anymore.
Well, yeah, but survivors are so important to me, because how else am I gonna flex on people with my elusive exclusives? Like, look at my Nia vest! Where my fellow Nia vests at? And also Golden Fang! And look, a hand puppet! I am extremely lonely and I fill the void in my heart with exclusive cosmetics.
Okay, you loathe in your loneliness while I talk more about the game. And hey, if surviving really ain't your thing, you can try killing instead. Or it gets the heart going.
Wow, Chicken Horse, why don't you tell me more about survivors? I am very interested. Please educate me and the good people at home.
Well, we talked about being one of the 4, so now let's talk about being the one and only one. The killer's goal is obviously to kill all 4 survivors by putting them on meat hooks. And just like baseball, 3 strikes and you're out. The 3rd time you're hooked, you're so totally dead.
The game isn't completely survivor-sided, unless you look at Reddit. Am I right, guys? The killer has come to the objective of killing survivors, which sounds simple, but if you can't find survivors easily, it's not. So to combat this, the killer can track survivors in a variety of ways. The main way is scratch marks. As a survivor, you may think that running around at the speed of sound with places to go and going to follow a rainbow is the most effective method to escaping the killer. And you would be relatively right. However, you do passively leave scratch marks. So if you want to be all sneaky beaky like, you kinda gotta learn to control yourself and only run when you absolutely have to.
In addition to that, performing fast actions will summon the anger of the gods as the killer gets a sound notification in the form of a loud explosion. They also get an indicator on their screen pointing in the direction of the sound, but I mean, that's not nearly as exciting. So in general, don't run into a vault or run in or out of closets. No running. No fun allowed.
But Skittle, my brittle! What if I'm completely not a trash and running away from the killer? What do I do?
Well, you know that little, relatively unimportant and forgettable organ that you have in your chest? I think it's called, like, he-art or something? Well, your he-art actually has a beat. Who knew?
Mine doesn't. Is that unhealthy or something?
Nah, you're fine. You can hear the heartbeat whenever the killer is in your area, with it getting louder the closer the killer is. I'm pretty sure the idea of that is actually tied to a very specific emotion, but I can't really remember the name of it.
Why, it is arousal, of course. I mean, what is better than being chased through the forest by a large, burly man with a chainsaw, wearing the literal face of your best friend? Oh, I know it gets my engine going.
So anyway, we've been talking about the heartbeat as if it's something so simple you can hear and just use as a radar to tell you when the killer's in radius. Which is completely true.
In the time it took you to narrate the scene, I've been running in circles around the same pallet. Now the generator's finished. And I've escaped. Goodbye.
Oh yeah, pallet looping! Yeah, pallets are, like, super fun when you're playing as a survivor, but while playing as a killer, it's not so much fun. Especially when the survival is running around the same circle over and over, and when you finally catch up to them, they just vault over the pallet. It's such riveting gameplay! In all seriousness, Killer is way more interesting to play because each killer actually gives you different abilities and stats. Sure, just like Survivor, you can use other killers' perks by making them teachable, but the ability between killers is always different. A Trapper is just the most interesting killer. What can he do?
Well, I'm glad you asked.
So he has these traps, right? And then he puts them down, and then they're there. And when a survivor steps in them, they get injured. But wait. Here's the best part. Why I love the trap. His ability is useless in a chase. Amazing, right? Like, I mean, there's nothing I sure love more than being completely and useless to try to complete my objective with a very situational item that can't be used for like the majority of the game. And also, the trap can accept his own traps. It's very useful.
And that ties us into the main point of Survivor and Killer. The Survivor has to survive and the Killers have to kill. It's really as simple as it sounds, but how you do that is completely up to you. For example, Survivors can focus solely on their objective, attempting to finish the generators and open the gates as fast as possible, or being a piece of bait, getting the Killers' attention and running them through a loop for the entire match, allowing your allies to finish generators and finally escape.
And there is nothing way more exciting than an intense chase against a worthy foe.
Especially when you're running through the forest, adrenaline pumping, the generators are still unfinished, and yourself and your allies have been hit, but oh, your leg! It's in a bear trap. Luckily you escape and step in another bear trap.
You know, with this new information, I don't think trap was actually that bad.
But to reiterate my statement from the beginning of the video, Dead by Daylight is most certainly a game. Multiple ways to play and numerous mutators to factor in that, despite the objective of the game being the same each and every time, will assure a slightly different experience each and every time. I said that twice. Oh my god, thank you for watching the video. That was like really cool of you. If you like that, you should maybe check out my other videos. They're pretty similar. And you should also check out Digibox, because she helped me with this video. What, you got anything to plug, Digibox?
Sure, I make occasional Let's Plays, but I've recently been making scripted content. Recently I explored if Fallout 76 has improved, and so I have a video on the Saw video games.
Wow, that's great. Okay, bye!